Today I am exploring Crete, in many ways the mother of the Mediterranean diet. I'll visit my old friend who runs 2 restaurants that serve timeless Cretan specialties. I'll go on a foraging expedition with an elderly local couple and along the way meet an unusual farmer whose rugged, independent lifestyle is a mirror of how people lived here for centuries. On the table today will be a simple omelette of wild greens and farm-fresh eggs. A delicious pan full of rice-stuffed vegetables, glorious giant beans with a modern twist, and yes, even a little lamb. Join me on my Greek table as I explore the delicious, eternal Mediterranean diet and the wonderful flavors of Crete. I was born in New York and visited Greece when I was 12. I fell in love with the place and my husband. I moved to Athens 25 years ago to cook and write about Greece's healthy foods and natural beauty. I'm Diane Kochilas. Yassas. Crete, mother of the Mediterranean diet. The 5th largest island in the Mediterranean, at the crossroads of Europe, Africa, and Asia. Crete is the real and mythic cradle of the Mediterranean. In a way, Crete's formidable mountains, snow-capped even in summer, gave rise to Western civilization. Crete has always been an island of startling contrasts, a bustling tourist mecca, a pillar of tradition, a land of imposing peaks and stunning dramatic gorges. All that has shaped Crete's unique, powerful culture. Today, the island is one of Europe's most important agricultural zones. But perhaps more than anything else, Crete is synonymous with the Mediterranean diet. The island was one of the places researched in the original 7-country study in the 1960s. At the time, the Greek diet had the highest fat content, but Greece had the lowest incidence of heart disease. The Cretan diet is still based on the tenets of the traditional Mediterranean diet, which is mainly plant-based with an abundance of good fat, mainly extra virgin olive oil. The preferred meat is still the traditional lamb and goat, with some chicken, rabbit, and pork. And for many islanders, meat is still consumed sparingly on special occasions or for Sunday meals. Fish is still an important component of the diet. Foraging for wild plants is still a big part of the Cretan way of life. Seasonality is a principal practice set in stone. Then, of course, is the intangible part of the Cretan diet, the joy of life, the joy of a shared meal, of company, of human interaction that nourishes not only our physical hunger, but our emotional needs as well. I'm heading to my friend Katerina's, who owns 2 restaurants in Rethymnon, both serving traditional Cretan specialties. I want to start the day with a good breakfast, so we'll take a peek and taste one of Katerina's breakfast recipes. Katerina!
Hello, dear. Τι κάνεις?
Καλά είμαι.
Καλά είσαι.
Breakfast.
Αντί για...
Είναι great.
Είναι great.
This is really the traditional breakfast.
Yes. Crushed wheat, raisins, spearmint, pomegranate, honey at the end, ready to be served.
I'm gonna definitely make this.
And then at the end, you will add a little bit of cinnamon.
Okay. This is super healthy. That's excellent.
Shall we go and taste it?
This is great. This is very rich. It's filling.
It is.
This is really good, Katerina. This reminds me of the trachana, you know, the porridges that I know even from Ikaria. This was the farmer's breakfast.
The most important meal of the day has to be the breakfast. They have to eat that, and then they have to go outside in the fields to work hard.
That's just really good
Yeah,
for you.
extremely.
This is the malotira.
This is the malotira.
This is what we call in English, what I know is mountain tea, right?
Malotira means taking the bad, taking the pain, stomach pain, headache,
Oh, really?
tooth pain.
That's good. It's so mild and very almost minty. It's very fresh tasting.
Exactly, it's fresh.
And this is?
Sweet and thyme honey.
It's so good. Crete has the most whole regional cuisine in all of Greece. It's
Yeah,
endless. I mean,
because of the products, the diversity, it's huge. And people here, they were very connected with the nature and they collect their own food. They had this mentality.
they still do that.
They still do that.
The land is super rich.
So super rich.
It's this really ancient cuisine, and it's so totally modern at the same time. I mean, everywhere you look, Crete has amazing food. In many parts of Greece, there are still people with a fierce sense of independence and freedom. People who live on the periphery by most measures. Needing little, wanting for almost nothing, as they rely on nature to provide. All over the country, people are still very closely tied to the land, harvesting what grows wild. Evangelos and Chryssi Ktistaki, like most people on Crete, uphold the traditional customs with great pride. Foraging for wild seasonal food is one such custom. They own a local cafenio in the village of Amari and serve a lot of what they collect, transformed into local specialties from this tiny, fertile pocket of the world. These artichokes are as fresh as it gets. A little lemon and salt for this. It's really amazing what you find in a field in Crete. This is wild asparagus. Oh no, it's so sweet. Αυτό με αυγά είναι τέλειο. This makes the best omelette. You have to look for it. It's always a little camouflaged. We're so used to living in cities where our eyes are trained on very small kind of fields of vision, but when you're out in the open, you have to readjust yourself. When you do that, you're able to zero in and find, you know, the real gems that grow wild everywhere. Oh, this is great. This is wild fennel. This is awesome. In just a few minutes, wild fennel, wild asparagus, artichokes, broad beans. Μάραθο και μάραθο γεμίζει γριάτο κάλαθο. Fennel bunch by fennel bunch, and the old lady fills up the basket. That's, you know, folk wisdom, right? And there's a lot of truth to all of that. The whole cuisine of the Aegean, and in many ways of the entire Mediterranean, comes to a crescendo in Crete. Simple dishes made with seasonal ingredients abound, like these vegetarian stuffed grape leaves. We're making an omelet, a Cretan omelet, with these local greens. This is really hard to say even for me. Aporochia. It tastes a little bit like broccoli or like a broccoli raw, but it's not bitter. It's a really simple Cretan quick meal. And she's just lifting the egg a little bit. Whatever's not set kind of makes its way around the pan. Αυτό okay. So these omelets, you make them on Crete with any green that's in season. So you could do it with the wild asparagus that we found. You could do it with this aporochia. Aporochia. She wants to keep feeding her baby. Έτοιμος.
Από εδώ.
Oh, beautiful. She prepares all these dishes at home in her simple kitchen. The greens omelet with whatever's in season, mounds of stuffed grape leaves, those fresh fava beans we picked, and the wild artichokes in a salad and elsewhere. And brings it to the Cafe Neo, which is their family business. And that's what I want to do right now. I want to go to the Cafe Neo and enjoy some of this food. I'm making stuffed peppers and tomatoes. For me, this is one of the best examples of a dish that is really virtuous, but really seductive. What I'm doing here is just scoring my tomatoes. I'm gonna use all this pulp in my rice filling. You wanna leave enough of the skin intact so that when you stuff it, it's substantial enough, it's thick enough around the edges to hold the filling. Just gonna clean the last of my peppers. And you wanna use bell peppers for this because they're big enough to fit the rice filling. So there's one little trick that is a Greek grandmother's trick. You always add a little bit of sugar because the tomatoes are quite acidic, and salt in both the peppers and the tomatoes. Turn them over, and you let the juices on the inside of the tomato just drain out. The real secret to this dish is what's going on right here in this pan. The onions are what give these luscious stuffed tomatoes and peppers that beautiful sweetness. A little bit of garlic. This is also going right in. I'm just gonna give it a stir together with my onions to soften it up. And next in the pan, the rice. So that's going right in. It's very important to cook the rice just a little bit without any liquid, just with that sweetness, the sweet juices of the onion. Next in here are my tomatoes. Just a little bit of salt, a little pepper. Now I am gonna add a little bit of water. You eyeball it a little bit. The tomatoes are always a little bit different. Some of them are juicier than others. And right after I add my water, I add a little bit of white wine. I'm just gonna let this cook down a little bit. It'll take about 8 minutes or so. I want the rice to be a little bit crunchy, and I want most of this liquid to have cooked off. My rice filling is cool, and now I can finish it with all these gorgeous ingredients here. Greek raisin. I've toasted up a bunch of pine nuts here. What else is going in here? 3 different herbs: dill, parsley, and beautiful mint. This is totally ready, and I'm about to stuff my first tomato. You don't want to overstuff it, you don't want to pack it in there because the rice will expand a little bit. I'm just going to finish stuffing these, and then I have a little surprise with the filling that's going to be left over. My surprise. Grape leaves. These are really easy, a lot easier than you might think. You want to add a heaping teaspoon, teaspoon and a half of filling. And keep in mind, I want you to notice how I laid down the leaf. Vein side up, so that when you roll it, the smooth side's on the outside. You want to fold in the sides. And then just roll this up and tuck in the edges of the leaf as you go, so that it rolls up nice and evenly. And voila, a really easy stuffed grape leaf. I'm just gonna start laying this down. I'm gonna fill the rest of these gaps with potatoes, because there's nothing that tastes better than a potato that's been roasted with all the pan juices. A little bit of salt, especially over the potatoes. Extra virgin Greek olive oil, This is, after all, one of the great, what we call lavera dishes in Greek, olive oil dishes. And last but not least, I'm gonna cover my peppers and tomatoes. These are ready to go into the oven. I always cover my stuffed peppers and tomatoes. These are gonna bake at 350 for about an hour to an hour and a half. These have rested now for about an hour. They're at room temperature, which is the best way to eat them. Oh, this looks so good and juicy. I have to try a little bit of this. Which is so wonderful. It's beautifully sweet from the raisins and all those great herbs. The rice has cooked perfectly. It's really tender. The tomato is still juicy, but it has that wonderful kind of a blistery, almost charred, smoky flavor. This dish is the essence of the Greek Mediterranean diet. Meat has always been a part of the Greek Mediterranean diet, but with a frequency of consumption much different than what it is today. Meat was festive, consumed sparingly, mainly because it was expensive. There have always been plant-based sources of protein too, of course, such as beans. This is one of my favorite recipes and so easy to make. First, soak your beans overnight, drain. Add plenty of water and bring to a boil. Then simmer until they're tender but still al dente. In a food processor, blend 12 brined and blanched grape leaves, toasted pine nuts, and my favorite, lemon zest. Add 4 cloves of chopped garlic, 1 cup chopped mint, and 2/3 to a cup of Greek olive oil. Blend until smooth. Now, add the pesto to the beans. Add fresh chopped parsley and 4 finely sliced scallions. Serve with crumbled feta. I can't wait to taste this. You're gonna love it. I'm going to pair the giant beans with my next recipe, grilled lamb chops. In the Mediterranean, lamb is the meat that unites cultures. I'm doing a really wonderful Greek lamb chop recipe today. The Greek Mediterranean diet is about balance and keeping everything in good measure. Meat is a good example. Not every day, but when you do make it tasty. And I'm using one of the country's most unusual spices. This is called masticha. It's a resin. It actually comes from the island of Chios. And in order to use it, you have to pound it first with a little salt. It's got this beautiful, smoky, almost piney, resinous flavor. When you grind it, it turns into a fine powder. It's also a spice that goes surprisingly well with an incredible array of different foods, from lamb to lemons to chocolate. And how many things can you name that pair that beautifully? It's like a chameleon that's also really good for you. I'm gonna add the rest of my dry rub ingredients, some of this gorgeous Greek oregano, some garlic, and I'm gonna break up some of these bay leaves. I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper, whole black peppercorns. I'm gonna add just a touch of olive oil. It'll help the dry rub adhere better to the lamb chops. I'm ready to rub my lamb. Just a little bit of salt over the lamb chops, even though there's some in my dry rub. some lemon zest. A touch more olive oil. And I'm just really just massaging the dry rub into these beautiful lamb chops. And then I'm gonna marinate this in the refrigerator for about an hour. My gorgeous lamb chops. My grill pan is nice and hot, and it's time to do some indoor grilling. You want a nice high heat on that. That's really important. These are just gonna take a few minutes for a nice, medium, really tender, juicy lamb chop, about 5 to 6 minutes total. I'm gonna serve these with another Greek classic today. My gorgeous giant beans with that grape leaf pesto. My lamb chops are ready. Don't be afraid to use your hands. That's the way to do this. You don't have to be dainty, just dig in. That is so good. The masticha is very, very light and almost ethereal. It's got this really unique flavor. I have to try these beans. They are so refreshing. The grape leaf adds this really nice undertone of acidity, which pairs really well with the richness of the lamb. You know what would make this even more Mediterranean? A beautiful glass of red wine from Crete. Has mild acidity, nice light aromas. It works beautifully with the richness of this dish, and it'll make you feel like you're enjoying life in the spirit of a real Greek. Chrissy and her family sit down to eat together every day. All that hard work from field to table comes together around the family meal, no matter what's on the table. From simple grape leaves to a Greek salad with just picked artichokes, to greens omelettes and savory stews of artichokes and broad beans.
Llamas! Ande, viva!
It's the gesture that matters, and the upholding of the tradition of a communal meal. Beyond food and wine, that's really what the Cretan diet, indeed the whole Mediterranean diet, is about. Nourishing body with healthy, delicious seasonal fare. And soul with company, music, and conversation. This way of eating, which in Crete and in Greece is still part of everyday life, fosters a sense of belonging, of emotional well-being. Να είστε καλά, ησυχία. This is Cretan firewater, and Costa is explaining that if we drink this, we're not going to leave because it's so good, and he's right.
It is so good.
It's really good. It's basically Greek grappa. It's called tsikoudia or raki on the island, and it's the drink of Cretan hospitality. Ησυχία. Πω, είναι πάρα πολύ ωραίο.